guys, welcome to Breaking 80. This is Yo Girl Tammy. My buddy Joel Wilson is here, and we're here to talk to you about golf, baby, and our goals to break 80, maybe.
I have not played golf in the last month, so I am not going to break 80 if I don't get out on the course.
You had big plans for April.
I did. Unfortunately, a lot of those got pushed aside because I am going to be, and in fact, I will tell you right now, I'm going to be starting a senior golf tour starting in January of 2026. I have two professional golfers who are on my player advisory board, and we've got 20 tour dates set up, and it's going to be fun.
Cool.
It's going to be a lot of
That's
work.
so awesome. I'm so happy for you. We've been talking about it a little bit behind the scenes. I'm
Yes.
so happy for you. And I'm here to watch the ride go. So that's really cool.
And you do realize that I'm going to need my girl who interviews the people as they walk off the 18th green or is walking on the 15th fairway interviewing. So I'm going to need that. So I'm trying to find a blonde who would do that for me. And if anybody out there has a suggestion, no, you're going to have some fun in 2026. It's going to be an
Yeah,
entire different
I'm
year for
so
you.
excited about it. Yeah, I'm so grateful for an opportunity like that. You and we're obsessed with this golf thing, baby.
I
So
know. I
yeah, I'm
know.
excited to be a part of any live action golf and especially interviewing as it happens. So it is so cool. I'm honored that I will get to be a part of it. I'm here to support.
You're just here so you can work in the golf industry and not have to do nursing for the rest of your life. How's
Oh my
that?
gosh, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm aging.
Oh, no,
So
you're not. No, you're not. You're still
hard to
29.
believe. But yeah, boy, we all have this wild dream of, living our dream. And if it's golf, if you're a golfer, you have this dream that you could go pro. Maybe you'd like to work pro. We'd all like to go pro, honestly. So
Exactly.
a 21 handicap is dreaming a little bit about going pro, and they should, so just
Well, and
keep
I
on
told I,
on
I've
it.
told I had lunch with Robert Gomez. He's a three-time winner on the PGA Tour. In fact, the very first tournament he ever played in, he won. And we'll get him on our show here the next couple months. I'm going to have lunch
Cool.
again with him next Wednesday. But I was like, I would love to be able to shoot in the 70s, but if it takes a lot of work, I don't know if I want to do that because I want to enjoy it. I don't want to make it a job. But he says, and he goes, you know what? It's just the little things that keep you from doing that. And it's a consistency where if you enjoy golf, go out there and do it, and pretty soon you're going to break 80. You will break 80.
Yeah, and maybe it's not consistently. I think it's just a fantastic goal to have. Like for myself, maybe it won't be consistently. I want that single digit handicap so badly. But but it's fine. Yeah, as long as we're having fun. And he's
That's
right. I play a relaxed round. We
hmm
like to call it happy hour golf. When we're out there in the evening, there's nobody out on a weekday. It's just sunset and we're just goofing around. I swing so freely. That's when I play my best golf.
Well, and I know that you had talked about, you've got a new driver and you're maybe getting new irons and,
And
the
upgrading
the
equipment.
evolution. And you had got me thinking, I was looking, you know what? The evolution of the not only the golf club but the golf ball has changed a lot over the last few 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is. It's amazing. I started looking at those numbers.
I agree. Yeah, and yeah, the technology is so wildly different. And I switched to that super softball earlier
Mhm.
this year. I've been playing the Pro V1s, which sound really fun, but for someone like me, I don't have the right swing speed for it. I need a
Yes.
low compression ball. So super soft, got 10 more yards right away. But there are so many ways to give yourself a leg up. The technology has changed so much. And I've got my new driver, the new Cobra driver, and the shaft on it is 45 grams. It's like the
Really?
lightest shaft. It's so
You
light.
like it? Does it
I
take a
love
while
it.
to
It
get
took
used
a
to it?
lot to get used to. Yeah, my last shaft was like a 75-gram shaft. So it was actually heavy for men. It was a
Yes.
men's and a men's driver. It was a ping driver, and it was so fun to hear the ball come off that club face. It sounded like metal aluminum baseball bat when you were a kid. So, and I love that era when I was a kid playing ball in
I
the
know it was
field.
fun. Makes you think back when that was
Yeah, that
fun.
was so fun. So, but I've upgraded. Man, the new club that I have now, it feels like a whip going through the air, and the sound is so different. I didn't love it at first. Now I love it. Really sounds like a crack when you hit that sweet spot. And there's a big old sweet spot on these club heads now.
That's the thing. You got these 450cc head drivers. They're humongous than what they used to be. I'm gonna,
That's right.
yes, I got a quiz for you. You ready for this?
Yes.
What year was the first player to average over 300 yards for driving for the PGA? What year? What do you think it was?
1999. Tiger Woods.
1997. John Daly, 1997. And
Oh,
this he was over 300 yards. Second place was the average was 270.
wow. It's funny that you say that. I was actually looking at the difference between some of the drivers now to where they were in the Jack Nicklaus era. Jack Nicklaus was averaging like 270, 280. So yeah,
Yes,
that's what drivers were hitting before. And
exactly.
now, yeah, now the average tour player is like 295 to 315 on average.
Hmm.
And then Bryson and Rory and a couple of other guys, I think Kepka's got one on record for like 380 or something
Well,
like
I
that.
will. It's interesting. You say that the Golden Bear, which I love the Golden Bear. In fact, this is my newest addition to my podcast.
That's awesome.
That's the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, right there.
I love that. That's really cool. I
But
need
he
to get
averaged
myself
he
a Sam
averaged
Snead bobblehead.
270. Okay, at the Masters, Bryson DeChambeau hit a 7 iron, 275 yards. A 7 iron.
That's crazy.
Now, is obviously the technology and the balls? Could it be that people are getting stronger, bigger, faster?
Absolutely. I was actually reading a little bit about that too. Back then, the older golfers didn't like to bulk up. They felt
No.
like a lot of bulk and muscle was going to affect their swing, so
Hmm.
they didn't do it. And nowadays, we see these guys, they're massive nowadays. I know a young pro golfer, Isaac Rodea. I play with him all the time. And he is a pro golfer. He's not on the tour.
Yes.
He's working on bulking up too. And so this is like the new era of golfers is these are, well, you look at Scheffler, he's not exactly bulking up
No,
or
he's
Matty
not. He's
Patrick.
not. But yeah, you get some of those
They're
guys. They're
fantastic
big
golfers.
guys out there now.
Hmm.
Another thing that I've noticed is that while the average drives are up, you're almost at 300. You're 290 and changes. The average PGA, the
Yeah.
greens or the fairways in regulation have come way down. They don't care about hitting the fairways anymore.
That's interesting. And, based off of Rory's win at the Masters and his Grand Slam, he was off the fairway a little bit there. I'm sure his fairway percentage there was in the 70s at the most. I think he was
Yes,
under the
exactly.
lines like five
But
times.
they've got the strength to get it out of the first cut, even the second cut of rough, and still get it onto the green.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where those guys and myself are different. So
Exactly.
when
Way different from me.
yeah. When I'm in a deep cut like that, like where I'm in the second, third cut, I mean that is some dense grass. Every once
Yes.
in a while my course is a little bit dense like that too. I just have to wedge out. I can't get a 6 iron under that, let alone,
I know. And
you know,
and, and these
200
guys,
yard shot.
you look at the line, you can't even see their feet. That it's that deep. You don't know where the ball is, and they're hacking it out of there and putting it on the green so that they have a birdie attempt. It might be a long birdie attempt, but it's still attempt.
Yeah, the evolution of golf is crazy. What these guys are doing in golf is absolutely nuts. I think that it's really entertaining.
Have you ever swung some of those old persimmons woods?
I have not.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
no, I
to.
have not.
It's
Yeah,
really
much
cool.
smaller club heads. You got to be a pretty legit golfer to be hitting it 270 back in the day with a persimmon wood or a
Exactly.
hickory wood.
Well, when Jack Nicklaus won the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, On 17, it was like 180 some yard par three. He took a one iron. And I don't know if you've seen the shot. If you ever look at the shot, you have to Google it on YouTube. In fact, if you guys are on there listening, put Jack Nicklaus 17 on the final day. He hit it two hops, hit the flag, and just died right there about 3 inches from the hole. Beautiful one iron shot. A one iron which he kept in his bag and shot regularly. Um,
Wow.
I keep a one
Yeah.
iron in my bag and I use it maybe once or twice around, and that's about it.
Wow. Once or twice around. Yeah, that's crazy.
I just do
I've
it for
never
fun.
held a one iron. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what type of shot I would use it on. Is this what type of shot do you use a one iron on
If
during
I
a round?
need something, if I need to keep it low because its loft is about 14, 12 degrees in that range. If I need to keep it low, but it's my 195 to 205 club. I can hit it about that far. So
Wow. Wow. A low 195 burner.
yes, it's one of those stinger kind of things that I hit, and I can hit it really good off the tee. It's kind of hard. The club head is not that big, so getting it out of the rough is kind of difficult. If it's in the fairway, I can do pretty good, but a lot of times, if it's a very tight fairway, if it's either going to be a three wood or a one iron, I might take the one iron just so I know I can keep it straight and I know I can keep it down, and it'll roll to 200, 205, whatever it's going to be. And there's been times
Wow.
when I've had to course management, what we've talked about before, where I have to, I have to hit something in the 190s or 200s, and I'll take that. So
Yeah, nice. That's my three wood shot.
that's
That's
your
my
three wood shot.
190. Yeah. Yeah, that's my
Well,
and
right now
like to be.
I don't know what my clubs are anymore after I started switching my takeaway of my club and my swing. I don't know what anything is anymore. I have to get out
Yeah,
of the
and in
range.
fact, all of mine are increasing a little bit too. I've got to do some practice today. So
Are
I'm gonna
you?
get out and play today, but I do want to get some practice in because, I'm working on something here, trying to break 80 and reduce my score, and I'm getting there. But yeah, I got to put the practice in all the time, not just on the days that I go to the course. I feel like every day that I can, I need to just swing some clubs in my yard.
Well, one of the things that Robert Gomez told me when I was talking to him and talk about breaking 80, he goes, "You do realize that half of your shots are like 100 yards and in, half of them between chipping
Yes.
onto the green and putting. That's where half of your stuff is. So if you want to increase your scoring, start there."
Absolutely. And I heard, that Tiger Woods back in the day, the 100 yards in, that was his sweet spot. That's what he worked on. Driving is fun. Haha. We love to drive. We love to look cool off the
Hmm.
tee in front of like everybody behind us.
Exactly.
But it's all for nothing if at 100 yards in you can't close the deal. So, and actually, I would say for me, 75 yards in is money because that's
Okay.
my pitching wedge, sand wedge, and 60-degree iron, or 60-degree club. So those are my three clubs from 75, 78 in, and I lack backspin, so that pitching wedge can go 80 or more. And then I have my nine, but I'm so comfortable at 75 yards in, and then my nine is like 85 to 95, but
My problem is that when I'm, within 100 yards, I'm still in the thick rough and I can't control it out of there. And I'll hit a flyer and hit it 120 over the green and then chipping back through the green into a sand trap and then toot out. And then I'm like picking the ball up going, you know what? I'll meet you at the next hole.
no, yeah, no. And I've had actually at least a couple holes like that lately. I played so well the other day on the back nine. The front nine, I shot a 50. And the back,
Ooh.
I think I shot like a 42 or something like that. And so the front nine was bad. I opened with like a double, went to a triple, went to a double or triple. It was just really bad. And but I hung in there. And then, because there's always the moment where you're like, maybe I'll just play 9 holes today. So
Hmm.
I turned the corner, played the back, and I played so much better. And sometimes you play better than the score reflects as well, but I played so much better. So it's just got to be consistent, and then breaking 80 will come.
It will. Now I have to, when you go double, triple, double. Is there something other than Gatorade or water in the container that you're drinking at that point?
Man, I did a couple of shots for sure. So it's like, I was almost, not throwing it away, but I was definitely like, I need to calm myself down here. So
And it worked, didn't it?
it did apparently, because when I turned the back, I could care less. And
That's
then
the
I
thing
can't,
is,
just started to play and have fun. And sometimes I think the problem is that we do get fixated on these goals and we're not having fun. You have to have fun as well.
yes, you do. You have to have fun. I mean, we're here to have fun. We're here to play golf. We're here to enjoy it. And like I said, I talked to some of the players who are out there trying to compete for the senior tour. It's like, I got to go out and practice again. I got to go out and do this. I'm like, you have to, or do you want to? He goes, no, I have to because that's where he's going to be making his living. So when that becomes a job, then you don't like it as much. And
Mhm.
I don't want it to be that way anymore for me. It's not going to be that way.
Yeah, that's really cool. Because again, we've talked about the percentages of handicaps and hitting in the 80s, hitting
Mhm.
below 90. If you're hitting on average 90 or less, you're in like the top 10% of
I know.
golfers everywhere. Yeah, so that's something to be celebrated. And you can keep up with great golfers because I play with golfers who are scratch. I play with my friend who's a pro, and I can keep up with them just fine. I'm not embarrassing myself. I'm not all over the fairway and the green. I'm cruising along. I'm moving to the front and to the front of the green and onto the next fairway. There was a time though where I was all over the greens, and there
Yes.
was a time where I was all over the fairways, and that time for me has passed. So,
Mm, I love
and
that.
going through it, just hang in there. Yeah, just work on hitting the ball forward.
I have to do that. I know that at the end of March, end of May, I'm going to be going down to Augusta, not playing at Augusta. I wish I was, but there's other courses down there. And Rob West, who was on Big Break 19 and he's played on the senior tour, and Robert Gomez, who's a three-time PGA winner. I'm going to be playing golf with the two of them. So I'm kind of nervous. I asked them both. I said, how many strokes do you want me to give you? And they're like, yeah, right. I said, honestly, if you gave me a stroke a hole, would you beat me? And they said, maybe. And I'm going to say, give me a stroke a hole. We'll see if you guys can beat me.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
That's
think
very
about it.
cool.
If they shoot 68, I got to shoot 83 just to, or in the 80s, low, mid 80s just to tie.
Totally. And that's what's so fun about, well, that's, the giving strokes, the way
Uh,
that you can kind of level the playing field. That's what makes golf really accessible for everybody and way more fun.
it
Because I
is.
shot like an 88 last week or something. And I think if I had been given, we thought about it after the round, I probably would have tied my friend who has he's the pro golfer. He shoots par or less, and he's like a +5 handicap or something wild. And I was out there with my husband, who's he's basically a scratch golfer. He shoots in the 70s all the time. So I might have beat him. I probably
You
beat
probably
him.
would have. Then you would have got to brag saying, I win.
Yeah, right. So if we're giving strokes, if I'm playing them head to head, I mean they win every time.
You should do
But
that and then make him cook dinner.
he cooks dinner already quite a bit. So
Aw.
he's like, I do as well. But he's so lovely and he's a great cook and he's great at everything else. So I guess maybe I should think of something though,
You should think of something exactly. You should do
a
that.
new set of irons.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you could. All you have to do is flip the hair back and go, honey.
Yeah. Because yo girl is now thinking about some new irons because I was reading that an average weekend golfer switches out their irons maybe every 7 years. I don't think so. I think that data is off. I think it's more like every 15 years for a weekend golfer.
I think
Um,
so.
I Yeah, I play several times a week for years and years, sometimes more than that, and my irons are probably 8 years old. I need new irons.
Yeah, mine are. I have a set of Callaways and a set of Wilsons, and I
Hmm.
need to I need to upgrade. I will upgrade somehow. Actually, I will probably be upgrading with Srixon, just so you know. And here's another little thing that we're going to blast live here, and people are going to breaking news. You need this going across the screen. That we have are partnering up. The senior tour is partnering up with Strixon, so that I'm getting a tour bag made with the Four Right Senior Golf Tour logo on there, and I'm trying to see if I can get a set of Strixon irons to play with as well. So.
That's so cool. Actually, my buddy who is the pro, who's working to get on the tour, he loves the Srixon brand, and I think he only plays the Srixon balls. So he's a big Srixon guy.
I'm going to have to play those balls too because they're giving us like, 12 dozen of these things to be handed out. So I'm going to be like, okay, you want some? You want some? I'll send you some.
That's really cool. That's so cool. Very cool. And thank you to Srixon for sponsoring and being a sponsor on that tour.
Yes.
That's so awesome. Next year is going to be really, really
Oh, next year's
exciting.
going to be fun. You just wait. You have no idea what you're in for.
I cannot wait. Well, I'll spend this year preparing. Next year, we're going to blow it up and blow it out, and it's going to be the best.
It
So,
will be. It'll be a blast. Now, I know I've tried the Drive Force. I have not played golf with it. We're going to give a plug here to Zachary and the Drive Force, the DF18. I use mine a little differently. After my surgeries with cancer and people know my journey through there. I had a really, really busy day yesterday. I had 5 podcasts that went from noon until about 9:30 at night. And I'm always dragging and talk to Zachary. And he goes, try it. And I did, and it worked. I'm going to try it again today because I have a lot of podcasts today as well. Not only for golf, but for anything, for life in general. Have you been
yeah.
trying it too, right?
Oh man, I've been drinking it since I got it every single day. I'm drinking it when I nurse at the hospital. I work in an ICU. It's obviously critical care. It's 12-hour shifts. I need to be clear. I need to be
Hmm.
working fast. I need to be concise. And I kind of need to be the best version of myself, way more so than golf. I need to be, I just need to be really present. So I've been taking that every day. I've been feeling fantastic. Sunday, when I was recovering from my 312s, and Sunday after I finished we call it 312s, but nurses generally work another hour,
Yep.
sometimes more after work. So these are 13, 14-hour days back to back, minimal sleep in between. So my Sundays is my recovery day. I'm usually in a fog. I play my worst golf. It's kind of a mess. I took the Drive Force golf in the morning, or the Drive Force supplement in the morning, played really good golf. And I walked 18 holes, by the way. I felt so strong for all 18 holes. And then when I got home, I wanted to do some work in the golf industry at home, some golf work. And I drank the Drive Force again. I got so much done. My mind was zooming in a good way. I stayed up late. I was so efficient. I threw together a bunch of media packages, and it was like such an efficient and productive day. So I got both ends of that day going. I drank the supplement twice, and it's like a Gatorade,
Yes.
but it's better and it's more effective than a Gatorade. He put a lot of scientific research into making the supplement, and it's highly effective. So
Yes, it is.
I'm almost out of my current box, and I was actually
Ooh.
getting a little bit of anxiety about